I want to ask you something, and I'd like you to be truly honest with yourself. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Was it just a quick cup of coffee? A piece of toast on your way out the door? Or maybe you skipped it altogether thinking it didn't matter. I need you to understand a difficult truth. There is a very high probability that your simple morning routine is the very thing that is actively making your legs weaker, your balance poorer, and your body stiffer day after day. Here's why. After 8 hours of fasting while you sleep, your body wakes up in a state of starvation. It is screaming for energy, and if you don't give it the right fuel immediately, it has no choice but to find it elsewhere. So, it begins to eat itself, and the first thing on the menu is the muscle in your legs. Every morning you make this mistake, you are literally choosing to sacrifice a piece of your strength, a piece of your stability, and a piece of your future independence. But that ends today.
And that is exactly why we needed to have this difficult conversation today. Welcome everyone to Health Voices. I'm your host Sarah, and I'm here with Dr. Morgan. What he just described, the idea that our bodies are forced to consume their own muscle tissue just to get through the night, is a shocking concept. But it is a fundamental reality of aging physiology that we can no longer afford to ignore. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on this silent epidemic. Dr. Morgan will explain precisely why your legs are most vulnerable in the morning, and then we will begin to lay out the simple food-based, science-backed plan to fight back starting from the moment you wake up. Doctor, let's start with the official term for this condition. It has a name, doesn't it?
It does, Sarah. The clinical term for age-related muscle loss is sarcopenia, and I call it a silent epidemic for a very specific reason. Unlike a broken bone or a sudden illness, sarcopenia doesn't announce itself with a loud crash. It doesn't hurt initially. There's no fever, no sharp pain. It creeps in. It starts as a feeling of heaviness in your legs in the morning. Then one day you find yourself hesitating at a curb you used to step off without thinking. A few months later, you realize you're using your arms to push yourself out of your favorite armchair. You might think, I'm just having an off day, or I guess this is just what getting older feels like. But it's not. It is a progressive disease state.
And the statistics on this are quite alarming, aren't they?
They're staggering. The U.S. National Institute on Aging estimates that if we do nothing to intervene, adults over 60 can lose up to 33% of their leg muscle mass in a single decade. This isn't just about aesthetics or looking strong. This loss of muscle tissue is the first domino to fall in a long and dangerous cascade. As your leg muscles weaken, your balance deteriorates. As your balance deteriorates, your risk of falling skyrockets. That fear of falling then causes you to become more hesitant, more sedentary. And of course, less activity leads to even faster muscle loss. It's a vicious cycle that can also lead to increased abdominal fat, lower bone density, poor circulation, and even cognitive fog. It all starts in the legs.
And you said in the hook that this process, this body eating itself, is most aggressive in the morning. Can you explain why that specific time of day is so critical?
It's a matter of simple biology and fuel management. Your muscles are the largest storage bank of amino acids in your body. Think of them like a savings account for protein. During the day, you're regularly eating meals, making deposits into that account. But overnight, for 7, 8, even 9 hours you are fasting. Your body still needs those amino acids for thousands of critical functions, so it begins to make withdrawals from your muscle savings account. Now when you're young, your body is very efficient at making big deposits the next day to cover those withdrawals. But as we age, we develop what we call anabolic resistance, which we've discussed before. This simply means your body's ability to make those deposits to rebuild muscle is severely diminished. So if you don't start your day by immediately replenishing those funds with the right kind of breakfast, you start every single day in a deeper state of nutritional debt. The demolition that happened overnight is not repaired and your legs are weaker for it.
That bank account analogy makes it so clear. You're starting every day with a net loss unless you intervene. Can you give us a real-world example of what this looks like in a person's life?
I can. It reminds me so much of a patient of mine whose story is unfortunately all too common. Let's call him David. David is 69. For his entire career, he was a construction engineer, a man who spent his life on his feet, climbing slopes, walking job sites, strong and tireless. He was proud of his physical capability. But when he came to see me, he felt like a stranger in his own body. He told me, "Doctor, when I get out of bed in the morning, my legs don't feel like they belong to me." His knees were stiff. His feet, he said, could feel heavy as lead one moment and numb or tingly the next. His first steps of the day were slow, short, and unstable, like, in his words, trying to move a rusted machine.
That sounds terrifying for a man who was once so physically confident.
It was. And his fear became a reality one morning. He was walking out onto his porch to get the newspaper, a trip he'd made 10,000 times. But his foot didn't lift quite high enough, and he caught it on the low step. He stumbled and fell. Thankfully, it was a minor fall, no broken bones. But what scared him wasn't the bruise. It was the reason for the fall. It was the loss of something he had always taken for granted, the strength and reliability of his own legs. His wife had noticed it too. He was walking slower. He had to push off his knees with both hands just to get up from the sofa. He had started having more frequent leg cramps at night. David had no other major illness, no severe arthritis, no diabetes. This was purely and simply the face of sarcopenia. It was the morning ambush in action.
So, what was the first step for David? When he decided to fight back, where did he begin?
After his fall, David started doing his own research, and the first thing he changed was the very first thing he put into his body each morning. And it wasn't food. It was a glass of warm water with a pinch of natural mineral salt.
Salt water. That's surprising. Why that?
Because after a long night, your body isn't just hungry. It's also dehydrated and depleted of electrolytes. That feeling of stiffness, fogginess, and even muscle cramping can be directly linked to this imbalance. The commercial table salt, we all know, is just sodium chloride, but natural unprocessed mineral salt, like Celtic sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, contains over 80 trace minerals and electrolytes that your body is craving in the morning, like magnesium and potassium. Starting the day with a large glass of warm water and a small pinch of this salt doesn't just rehydrate you. It restores your electrolyte balance, improves circulation to the legs, calms the nervous system, and prepares your muscles to receive the nutrients from your breakfast. It's the simple act of preparing the soil before you plant the seeds. It was David's first simple and profound step toward reclaiming his legs.
CTA 1. What a powerful story, and what a simple, actionable first step. And I want to take a moment here. If David's story resonates with you, if you've ever felt that morning stiffness, that unsteadiness, that fear that your legs aren't as reliable as they used to be, let us know that this conversation is for you. Please type the number 1 in the comment section below. It's a way for us to know we're on the right track. And if you're finding this information valuable, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is completely free, and it's the best way to ensure you don't miss the rest of this vital plan. So, doctor, that first step is incredibly simple and makes so much sense. Start the day by tackling dehydration and electrolyte loss with that glass of warm mineral salt water. After preparing the body in that way, what comes next? What are the actual building materials we need to send in immediately to halt that overnight muscle breakdown David was experiencing and begin the process of rebuilding? What was the first food he added to his new routine?
That's the critical next step, Sarah. Once the soil is prepared, you have to plant the seeds. The absolute first priority for this first meal of the day is high-quality, easily digestible protein. You have to stop the demolition crew that's been active all night. The only way to do that is to flood the system with the amino acids it's craving. This brings us to the first pillar of our muscle rescue breakfast, the protein foundation.
The protein foundation. I like that. So what are the best sources for this crucial first meal?
For this specific morning purpose, two sources stand out above all others for their effectiveness and bioavailability. The first is one of the most humble and perfect foods on the planet, the whole egg. We often think of it as a simple breakfast, but for a senior's legs, it is a powerhouse of muscle recovery. Each egg contains about 6 grams of complete protein, but the magic isn't just in the protein, it's in the yolk. The yolk is a nutritional goldmine containing vitamin D choline, and most importantly, a very high concentration of that on switch amino acid leucine.
Leucine again. It seems to be a recurring hero in our conversations about muscle.
It is the undisputed hero. Leucine is the spark plug for the engine of muscle protein synthesis. Without enough of it, the engine won't turn over. Eggs deliver that spark efficiently. Furthermore, the vitamin B12 in the yolk is essential for nerve health. It protects the myelin sheath, which is like the insulation on an electrical wire. Better insulation means a faster, clearer signal between your brain and your legs, which translates directly to better balance and a steadier gait. A study from the University of Illinois found that older adults who incorporated whole eggs into their breakfast for 8 weeks showed significant gains in leg strength and functional independence. The key is to eat the whole egg. The yolk is where the magic happens.
That's a fantastic, simple starting point. What is the other pillar of this protein foundation?
The other pillar is plain Greek yogurt. If eggs are the spark plug, Greek yogurt is a sophisticated fuel injector. It's triple strained, which makes it incredibly dense in protein. A standard serving cup can have up to 17 grams, and it offers a brilliant 1-2 punch. It contains some fast-digesting whey protein to provide that immediate leucine spark we just talked about. But its main component is the slow-digesting casein protein. This casein provides a sustained, steady release of amino acids throughout the morning, preventing a mid-morning energy crash and crucially stopping the body from going back into a catabolic state. It essentially keeps the rebuilding signal on for hours. A remarkable study from Maastricht University, which the article references, found that seniors who consumed casein protein in the morning showed measurable leg strength improvements in just 6 weeks, even without an exercise program.
That's incredible. So you're building strength just based on your breakfast choice. So we have our protein foundation with eggs and Greek yogurt. But what about energy? And you mentioned electrolytes earlier. Muscle function requires more than just protein, right?
Absolutely. Protein is the foundation, but you need energy to do the construction work and minerals to make the machinery run smoothly. This brings us to the second pillar of the plan, energy and electrolyte support. But we have to be very smart about this. The wrong kind of energy, like sugar or white flour, will just cause an inflammatory spike and crash. We need smart energy.
And where do we find that?
The best source is another breakfast classic, oatmeal combined with chia seeds. Oats are rich in a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This acts like a sponge in your digestive system, slowing everything down and ensuring a very steady release of glucose into the bloodstream. No spike, no crash, just stable, reliable energy. The chia seeds are mineral powerhouses. They are packed with calcium omega-3s and 2 electrolytes that are critical for leg health: potassium and magnesium. Magnesium in particular helps with muscle relaxation and can be incredibly effective at preventing the leg cramps and stiffness that bothered Mr. David.
And I know the article mentioned bananas as well, which are famous for their potassium.
Yes, a banana is what the article aptly calls nature's electrolyte medicine. A single banana provides a significant dose of potassium, which is essential for maintaining the electrical fluid balance across your muscle cell membranes. Without proper potassium, your muscles can misfire, leading to spasms and cramps. A Harvard study found that seniors who regularly ate potassium-rich foods like bananas were 33% less likely to suffer from debilitating leg cramps. And this is where we can reveal the hidden meal from the article. For those who want an even more powerful source of smart energy and minerals, it's a small portion of a cooked sweet potato sprinkled with a pinch of natural mineral salt. The sweet potato provides low glycemic carbs and even more potassium than a banana, while the Celtic or Himalayan salt replenishes the broad spectrum of trace minerals lost overnight.
So this covers protein, energy, and electrolytes. It feels like a very complete plan. Is there one more level to this, a way to supercharge the results?
There is. For those who want to go beyond just rebuilding and provide their body with a powerful tool to fight the underlying inflammation that worsens muscle health, we turn to the final pillar, the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. And the king of this category is pan-seared salmon.
Salmon for breakfast. That's not very traditional in our culture.
It may not be, but the benefits are undeniable, which is why it's a breakfast staple in many other healthy cultures, like in Scandinavia or Japan. Salmon is rich in high-quality protein, but its true superpower comes from its massive dose of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These compounds are the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories you can eat. They work at a cellular level to cool down chronic inflammation throughout the body, but especially in muscle and joint tissue. The source article cited a cornerstone study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which found that adults over 65 who ate fatty fish like salmon twice a week maintained 27% more leg muscle mass over time than those who didn't. Even more impressively, that same group had a 36% lower risk of falling due to leg weakness. Those numbers are life-saving.
36% lower risk of a fall. That is a statistic that every senior and every child of a senior needs to hear.
It is. A simple piece of salmon pan seared in a little olive oil for a few minutes, served alongside a boiled egg or some avocado, is perhaps the ultimate muscle-preserving, inflammation-fighting breakfast you can eat. It provides the protein, the healthy fats, and the anti-inflammatory compounds all in one. It is the premium strategy for taking back your leg health.
CTA2. Doctor, this is an incredibly comprehensive yet simple plan. The protein foundation, the energy and electrolyte support, and the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. You've given us a complete blueprint. And for everyone watching, if you are still with us and learning something that feels truly applicable to your life, let us know by typing the number 2 in the comments. We'd also love to know which of these breakfast ideas you are most excited to try first. Your participation and your stories fuel our mission here at Health Voices. Dr. The Muscle Rescue Breakfast Plan is incredible. It's a complete nutritional blueprint. But it gets me thinking about the very first moments of the day. From the second someone opens their eyes before they even make it to the kitchen, are there physical things they can do in those first few minutes to support the work of the food, to protect their legs, and to improve their stability for the entire day ahead?
I am so glad you asked that, Sarah. Because the answer is a resounding yes. The food is the fuel, but how we start our day physically can make a tremendous difference in how our body is able to use that fuel. This is about creating a total environment of healing and stability. I give many of my patients, including David, a simple routine that takes less than 5 minutes, but can change the entire trajectory of their day. I call it the 5-minute morning routine.
A 5-minute morning routine. That sounds manageable for everyone. What's the first step?
The first step is the one we've already discussed, but it's the foundation for everything else. Step 1. The internal shower. As we mentioned, you start with that large glass of warm water with a pinch of natural mineral salt. You do this before coffee, before anything else. Think of it as an internal shower that flushes your system, rehydrates your cells, and replenishes the electrolytes you lost overnight. It prepares your body on a cellular level for the day.
Okay, so step 1 is hydration and minerals. What is step 2?
Step 2. Wake up your nerves. By rising slowly. This may be the single most important fall prevention strategy there is. Many seniors jump out of bed too quickly. When you've been lying flat all night, your blood pressure is naturally at its lowest. If you stand up suddenly, gravity pulls the blood down to your legs, and your aging circulatory system can't always adjust fast enough. This can cause a sudden sharp drop in blood pressure to the brain. We call this orthostatic hypotension. It's that momentary feeling of dizziness, seeing stars, or feeling faint that so often leads to a stumble or serious fall. The solution is simple. Before you stand, sit on the edge of your bed for just 30 seconds. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. While you're sitting there, gently rotate your wrists and your ankles in circles. This simple act sends a signal to your brain and your circulatory system to wake up, to recalibrate, and to prepare for the change in posture. It helps you start your day with control, not chaos.
That makes so much sense. It's a moment of intention before the day begins. What is step 3?
Step 3. The 3-minute balancer. After you've taken your deep breaths and are standing safely, you perform a simple balance exercise. You don't need any equipment. Just stand next to your bed or a sturdy chair, something you can lightly hold on to for support. Plant your feet firmly on the floor. Then slowly lift one foot just 2 to 4 inches off the ground. You are not aiming for height. You're aiming for stability. Focus on keeping your body tall and your standing leg strong. Try to hold it for 10 seconds. Then gently lower it and switch to the other leg. Do this 5 times on each side.
And what is that doing for the body?
This isn't a traditional strength training exercise. It's a neuromuscular exercise. It is actively re-establishing the complex communication pathways between the thousands of tiny nerves in your feet and your brain. It forces your brain to pay attention to your body's position in space. It strengthens the tiny stabilizing muscles in your ankles and hips that are your first line of defense against a stumble. This simple 3-minute routine is arguably more important for fall prevention than an hour at the gym.
It's training the connection, not just the muscle. That's a huge insight. What's step 4?
Step 4. The sunshine vitamin. If possible, for just a few minutes, expose some of your skin to early morning sunlight. Stand by an open window or on a balcony. You don't need to be out for long. 5 minutes of early sun on your face, arms, or even your ankles is enough to stimulate your body's natural production of vitamin D. As we know, vitamin D isn't just a vitamin. It's a powerful hormone that is absolutely essential for your body to be able to absorb calcium and deposit it into your bones. You can eat all the calcium-rich food in the world, but without sufficient vitamin D, it won't do your bones any good. Strong bones are the framework that your muscles attach to. They are part of the same system of strength and stability.
So a little bit of sun acts like a catalyst for your own internal bone-strengthening pharmacy. And what is the fifth and final step in this routine?
The fifth step brings us full circle and is non-negotiable. Step 5. Break the fast fast. You must never stay hungry for long after waking up. The longer you wait to eat, the longer your body remains in that muscle-wasting catabolic state we talked about. If you don't feel you can eat a full meal like salmon or oatmeal right away, that is perfectly fine. But you must break the fast. Have that one boiled egg. Eat half of the banana. Have a few spoonfuls of the Greek yogurt. The goal is to get high-quality protein and nutrients into your system within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking. This is the signal that tells the demolition crew to go home for the day and tells the construction crew that their first shipment of materials has arrived and it's time to get to work.
So hydration, a gentle awakening balance training, a little sunlight, and immediate nutrition.
Exactly. None of these 5 steps is difficult or time-consuming. They are small, intentional acts. But when you combine them day after day, you create a powerful synergistic effect. You are creating a morning ritual that hydrates, activates, stabilizes, and nourishes your body. You are setting the stage for a day of strength, not a day of decline. This is how David and so many others began to take back control, one morning at a time.
Doctor, this has been an absolutely phenomenal masterclass. You've given us a complete plan from the nutritional blueprint of the Muscle Rescue Breakfast to the practical physical actions of the 5-minute morning routine. It feels like a truly holistic approach to solving this problem.
That's the entire goal, Sarah. Because what we've laid out today isn't just a list of foods or exercises. It's a philosophy. It's about making a conscious choice. It's the choice between passively accepting the story we've been told about, aging a story of inevitable decline, and actively participating in creating the health, strength, and independence we want to experience in our later years. It all starts with that first meal.
And that brings us back to where we started with your patient, David. You told us about his career, his strength, and then that frightening fall on his porch that shook his confidence to the core. For everyone watching who saw themselves in his story, you have to tell us what was the result when he put this comprehensive plan into action.
David's transformation is the reason I am so passionate about sharing this information. He was diligent. He started with the warm mineral water. He chose his protein foundation eggs, became his go-to. He incorporated the oatmeal and bananas. He started the 5-minute routine every single morning. The first thing he noticed after about 3 weeks was something he didn't expect. He told me the frequent painful leg cramps he would get at night simply stopped. They just vanished.
Wow, that alone is a huge improvement in quality of life.
A tremendous improvement. But it was just the beginning. Soon after, he realized he wasn't hesitating at the top of the stairs anymore. He wasn't grabbing for the handrail with that same sense of panic. By the 2nd month, he was back to walking in the park. And I'm not talking about a short shuffling walk. He was walking a brisk 2 kilometers every single morning, feeling energized, not depleted. But the moment I will never forget was during his 3-month follow-up. He sat across from me in my office, and he had tears in his eyes, but they were tears of pure joy and relief. He looked at me and said, "Doctor, for the first time in years, I feel like I've regained my legs.
I've regained my legs. I have goosebumps. What a powerful statement.
It's everything, isn't it? Today, David is still going strong. He didn't need a cane. He didn't need special assistance. He didn't need a slew of medications. He just needed a different breakfast. He proved that for so many of us, decline is not a mandate. It's a choice we can refuse to make each and every morning.
What an incredibly inspiring story to end on. Thank you for sharing that with us, Doctor. So for everyone at home, the solution is this powerful combination: the Muscle Rescue Breakfast, full of a protein foundation, smart energy and electrolytes, and anti-inflammatory foods, combined with the 5-minute morning routine to hydrate and activate your body. It truly is a complete plan. Final CTA. We are so grateful you invested this time in your health today. If you found this information valuable, please show your support by giving this video a like, and please share it with a friend, a parent, a loved one, anyone who deserves to walk through life with strength and confidence. Don't forget to subscribe to Health Voices and, very importantly, turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our next video, where Dr. Morgan will reveal the 3 common breakfast foods that many seniors eat every morning, believing they are healthy, but are actually making their legs weaker and contributing to this very problem. You don't want your hard work to go to waste. And finally, we would love to hear from you in the comments. What is the one breakfast food you are most excited to try this week? Your stories and your journey inspire our entire community. Until next time, take good care.